What's up, guys? Indian Simmer are in studio this week, unfortunately, so it's just me and Sukhveer.
Hi.
So we're still going to go through our regular podcast. We have a bunch of things to talk about. We're going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel, freedom of speech, that whole thing. We're also going to talk about Alberta is putting some sort of Canadian citizenship identification on the driver's license, and Pete Hoekstra had some things to say about the anti-American sentiment. And then after that, I think Sukhveer has a couple questions for off topic. Let's get right into it. So, Jimmy Kimmel gets canceled. Everyone has been talking about it. People made a big deal about it. But if you haven't seen the video of what eventually led to his show getting suspended, I think we have a clip. Here it is.
New lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. It's demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
That happens.
Yeah.
Right. And then the next day, I feel like the FCC chair, he goes on a podcast and he basically threatens some sort of something against Jimmy Kimmel.
I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel. Or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
So after this whole thing happens, right? Mm-hmm. Nexstar Media and Sinclair pull the Jimmy Kimmel show. Yeah. And after that, ABC responds by suspending indefinitely.
Right.
Right. I mean, looking at this entire thing, I look at what he said, Kimmel,
right,
and I don't agree with what he said. I think he is being insensitive, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously, he's become more politicized over the last few years or whatever. I used to watch him a lot more, I feel like 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. That being said, all late night shows have become more political.
Yeah. I mean, everyone talks about
every
politics.
Podcast has become more political.
Yeah. I mean, we watch... I watch
political.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I watch sports podcasts that talk about politics.
Exactly.
Right? Like every single show, somewhat, like even one of the biggest sports commentators, Stephen A. Smith, now has a political podcast where he talks about politics only. There's also that. But yeah, on the Kimmel thing, I feel like it's more so I don't agree with what he said, right? And I don't agree his take on Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
And then this freedom of speech thing that everyone started running with. I think the problem that I have with it is the FCC getting involved.
Right. The government.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like we saw MSNBC, somebody said something on their network and the guy got fired and he just got fired, right? Like the government wasn't involved. No problem, right? Like it's a corporation. They're allowed to act whatever way they want to. Even though I feel like sometimes they do this in a way to circumvent, like they're kind of doing the same thing, right? Like they're just trying to get around it. But even when the FCC is going to get involved, right? And now you have the government getting involved and telling networks, hey, if you don't pull the show, alluding to you maybe revoking their license or something, you don't know what's going to happen, right? Yeah. So then Disney has to now act on that, right? And then they pull the show.
Yeah. It's faced a lot of backlash, especially from other late night I saw Fallon said something. Right. I think Schultz just released a 4-minute video talking about it. Yeah. Which I agree with what you're saying. I didn't agree with his take. Jimmy Kimmel's I don't know that it was very insensitive. It's just for what he was talking about. But if you think about what he said, it wasn't something so negative about or making fun of the death. Mm-hmm. He was just making fun of Donald Trump.
He was making fun of Donald
And
Trump.
why is Donald Trump answering that question like that, actually?
Who knows? People grieve differently. Maybe he's evading the question. Maybe he doesn't want to bring attention to it. I don't know the man
I don't
personally.
think he listens to the question being asked.
Or like he didn't respect the reporter. Like there's a lot of nuances. I have no clue why he answered it that way. It is kind of insensitive to just kind of swerve that question also, right? Like
For sure.
when somebody's going to ask you of it. But I like back on the freedom of speech thing, like to me, like obviously the left ran with it and like they're all just like it's an attack on freedom of speech, right? And I think when you look at it on a larger scale, you also you have to see like they've done this too, right? Donald Trump, a sitting president, was banned from Twitter.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't really matter because then he made Truth Social.
Yeah, but like for the time, at that time, it was a big deal, right? Because of January 6th and everything that was happening with that, right?
Right.
But then you also like you've seen Tucker Carlson get canceled. Like you've seen
People get canceled for a lot less.
or they get fired.
If for fire. So I'm not shocked that they took his show off.
Yeah.
But like what you're saying, government getting involved in that or having some sort of movement. with that's not right.
No, that's where I'm at with it, right? Like I think like even if you disagree with the guy, whatever he's saying, I think he should be allowed to say it.
Yeah.
Right. And if there's a corporation, the private entity now that doesn't align with their values and you work for a corporation, they can fire you. That's at any job. That's anywhere, right? Like anyone can fire you.
Yeah.
Right. So from that side of it, if ABC just fired him without the FCC getting involved, then I don't think you would have seen this shitstorm. I think it's because the FCC inserts themselves and goes like, now it's a problem. Because then
threatening.
Yeah, because now you're going to open Pandora's box, right? Because now if a Democrat president comes in, what's to say they can't be like, okay, Sean Hannity, we don't like him. Or like, Jesse Waters or anyone on Fox, like, we don't like him. Gutfeld, like, nah. Right. And now you start shutting the door on that side. Yeah. It's a dangerous game you're playing, right?
Next podcast come.
Yeah. Or like you start silencing podcasts and stuff, right? So it is, to me, I think freedom of speech is very important, right? And I think if it's a corporation doing it, it's one thing. And when the government gets involved, it's another, right? Like you see freedom of speech being attacked from the left in the UK. There's people literally going to jail, right? They're going to jail basically for stating their opinions online, for tweets and stuff, right? They're going to jail for that, right? And then you see it on the right in the US, they're basically, saying that because Donald Trump, he kept saying Jimmy Kimmel's next, right? You see that going on, right? You've seen it in Canada somewhat with the truckers' protests and stuff, right? People try to silence free speech all the time, right? And they try to label as hate speech
or terrorism.
Somebody's always attacking free speech. I feel like it's being attacked now more than it's ever been. Yeah. Right. And I feel like when that happens, you have to, like, normal people have to realize that, like, these freedoms that we have, or the reason why you come to a country like the United States, Canada, UK, you do it because, one, capitalism and the opportunity to go from rags to riches, from nothing to something. And two, it's because you have freedoms there. You have the rights. You have a lot of things you can do. So when somebody's taking away freedoms
down, and it's in their First Amendment.
So when somebody's taking away freedoms, you have to push back as a public, right? And what I think people start doing online is that because this is a right-wing government taking, like, infringing on free speech somewhat, that the right's not going to criticize it for the most part, right? And on the left, I feel like they're going to run with it because they're also hypocritical because they've done it too.
For sure.
Right? So like us people who are just, processing this, for us, freedom of speech matters, because if you don't have freedom of speech, you can't do what we're doing. You can't just say things.
Exactly.
Right? And if comedians can't make jokes, that's what Jimmy Kimmel is. I think he's the horrible, like, I don't watch his show anymore. I feel like during Trump's first presidency, I was kind of caught up in the whole, hate Trump train a little bit for like a year or two. Right? So like, I saw, like, the hate come from Jim. I think some people just didn't jump off. Right now, I feel like I judge him for all the stupid shit Trump does or doesn't do. Right? And not everything is dumb, but some things are dumb. And you just kind of like point out those kind of things. For sure. But like, I remember, like, a lot of people are using the quote by Benjamin Franklin. Like, I'm paraphrasing here, but a person who sacrifices security for liberty doesn't deserve neither.
Okay.
right? But I feel like that quote is always used out of context. I'm kind of using it out of context right now because when it was actually used, it was used in the opposite way. It's actually when the governor needed money to help fund the frontier during the war, he was saying to tax the citizens, right? So he was using it in a different context, and I just used it. I'm not using it correctly, but the point is there that. The point there is that you shouldn't be sacrificing free speech, in my mind, for anything, and you should let people talk whether you agree or disagree with them, and you let public discourse figure things out, right? And if there's a company that they work for and they're saying certain things, if that doesn't align with that corporation's values, they're probably going to get fired.
Exactly.
Right. And you leave it there. The government shouldn't be getting
Which is something
involved.
the person is aware of.
Mm-hmm.
They sign contracts. They understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
He understood what he was doing.
Yeah. He's been doing it for years. Like he's been talking shit about Trump. Like I remember I was looking for this clip, the one that we just pulled.
Yeah.
And while I was looking around, he says so much shit about Trump that like it just gets lost in the wind.
It wasn't surprising.
Yeah.
I don't think to anyone.
And the flip side of it is also that Jimmy Kimmel's ratings have been tanking, right? Because nobody watches TV anymore.
Like, especially late night.
Late night TV, like nobody watches it, right? And they're just broadcasting it only. So I feel like all late night TV has been, going down the drain a little bit. Like we saw...
Like Letterman.
Yeah. What was his name? The other guy, Colbert. Right?
Yeah,
so we saw Colbert, he got let go. His show got canceled, but the theory behind that is the merger between Paramount and Skydance, I believe it is. Okay. And then when they needed FCC approval, the Colbert show gets canceled, and he had better ratings than Jimmy Kimmel, so he was already canceled, right? So I don't know. To me, I don't know what's true there and what's not. If they're getting canceled because Trump doesn't like them, or if these companies are the hidden message underneath is that these are kind of like a money pit, right? And they're losing money and they're not doing the views and the numbers because nobody watches late night TV, that maybe these companies see an opportunity and they're like, oh.
Just use it as an excuse.
Right. To fire him?
Yeah.
Maybe that happened.
About that.
Yeah.
Like it's not a money thing. It's nothing personal.
It could be.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, we don't know what's going on there in that sense. Because I see a lot of people talking about the ratings and what he's doing. Because late night TV, even in general, I feel like 10 years ago, even when I've seen it, it was just more so from, like, YouTube clips. Yeah. When's the last time somebody sat down and was like, oh, the Kimmel show is coming on or Fallon's coming on, turns on TV?
You don't watch that much other than, I think, sports.
Yeah.
But everything's, like, streamed.
I feel like people younger than 30 probably don't even know the whole genre of late night TV show. Like they probably know the show. Yeah. Like some of them it's probably foreign to them.
For sure.
And I feel like people over 50 don't see, like they probably don't see how insignificant late night TV has become.
Yeah, yeah. They still watch.
Yeah.
Like my dad he used to watch Colbert.
Yeah. But yeah, let's move on to Pete Hoekstra. So he was in Canada and he was talking about his concerns with this anti-American sentiment that Canadians have. Here's a clip.
I'm disappointed that I came to Canada, a Canada that it is very, very difficult to find Canadians who are passionate about the American-Canadian relationship. Okay? You ran a campaign where, it was anti-American, elbows up, me too. It was an anti-American campaign. That has continued. That's disappointing.
Okay, first of all, me too.
Yeah. That's what he's doing. He's like saying that like it's like a piggyback campaign, right? You're kind of getting everyone riled up.
I thought you were saying that was an anti-American campaign.
No, he's comparing the two. But like that whole thing is kind of funny to me. It's like a gaslighting
100%
conversation he's having there.
He's being manipulative.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even, why would, I think there's a lot of Canadians that take this frustration, for lack of better words, with Donald Trump and turn it into anti-American completely.
As soon as the word tariff came into our lives, Of course, Canadians are going to feel like that.
Right.
I don't feel like traveling to the States.
I mean, but we do.
We do, but I don't know. When's the last time we went on vacation to the States?
We went to Disney World, like what?
Oh, we went.
It's like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Like, how long ago was that?
That's true. That's true.
Like, to me, I feel like the one
But
thing
I think it has stopped some people
from traveling to the States.
Yeah.
I think like you have to a little bit what Donald Trump is doing, and because of the state of the Canadian economy that it's in large part due to the Canadian government, right? People are already frustrated, and when you add tariffs on top of that, it makes a lot of people's lives unpredictable. It makes it difficult. It makes it harder. So then people are annoyed with that, right? So obviously they're going to have an anti-American sentiment. Also, it's a way of fighting back against tariffs, right? If he's going to tariff things and make it harder for your businesses now don't need to buy, this Buy Canadian movement or, anti-travel ban or whatever. Personally speaking, I think what people miss is a lot of Canadians still, like anyone who has a little bit of money and invests, like you don't just invest in TSX, right? You're investing in Wall Street, right? You're investing in the US. Those are US companies, right? The Magnificent Seven, your S&P 500, whatever you're investing in the States, right? So a lot of Canadians, their money is tied to the US, right? Some people own real estate in the US, right? It's not just about traveling and buying Canadian, right? But if you are Canadian and he's saying that there's this anti-American sentiment, it's not like there's a pro-Canadian sentiment from the other side.
Right.
Trump can easily renegotiate these tariffs if he wants to. It's not happening.
Yeah.
We don't know what's happening behind closed doors, but there's no deal done, right?
And how many times did Trump say bad things about Canada?
Yeah, the 51st state, all of that stuff, right? And then like this guy's just saying this shit, like it's so gaslighting to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like what other way are Canadians going to take that, right? Like if Canada is one of your biggest allies and then you turn around and start, tariffing them.
Or trying to make them feel insignificant.
Right. And now like you see, it's kind of pointless, but like Carney was in Mexico. He's trying to negotiate some sort of deal with Claudia Steinbaum, their president, to basically like, I think they're just gearing up for the USMCA or Kuzma, whatever you want to call it, the negotiations, right? Trying to see what they can do or whatever. But you will see this anti-American sentiment go away if a trade deal is reached, right?
Yeah.
And that we can, as Canadians, you can in part blame on Donald Trump, and in part you have to look at Mark Carney as well. He's not able to get anything done there, right? And these F-35s that are kind of sitting in the middle, now they're saying that, there's going to be consequences. They say stupid shit all the time that if Canada doesn't buy those F-35s, because they're thinking of pulling out of that contract, right? And then this Golden Dome, we don't know what the hell happened with that. Remember,
a lot of it, we don't know what the hell's happening.
Yeah, he was like, we have this massive announcement to make, right, with Canada.
Yeah,
and then
there was that big picture.
of a golden earth or whatever that was, and then nothing came from it.
Yeah,
obviously Canadians aren't going to be happy with the US, right? But I think, like for me personally, I don't hate Americans. I don't hate America, right? Because you then forget Netflix, it's American. All the TV shows, most of them that you watch, American. Most of the podcasts you consume, American. Most of your favorite TV,
sports,
music,
American.
The NBA, NHL, NFL, those are American, right? Like you can't just hate America and Americans, right? It's kind of, it's dumb.
I could argue Canadians receive more hate from Americans. Like, remember all those things about Canadians going to like Florida, and getting a lot of like hate,
right?
So this guy's.
I think he's. I think the one thing that is happening is like when you saw an entire election campaign run on, I'm going to, get a trade deal done and elbows up or whatever that garbage was. That I think once you start doing that, and then you're now like it's getting caught in the press and it's in media and they're seeing clips of it all the time, right? And then now you want to be friends somehow that the election is over, but still it's not like any trade deals are being negotiated. None of that shit's happening, right?
Even his whole this whole Buy Canadian movement, why wouldn't a country want like their citizens to buy things from their country? Trump wants everything to be made in the States.
the Buy American movement, there's a bunch of people online that, podcasters and stuff that always say like, yeah, I would buy American coffee, I would buy American, phones or whatever if they're produced there.
It's a very normal thing.
Yeah. So as Canadians, we would buy Canadian things, right? Like I'm going to support Canadian businesses.
I'm not about to buy maple syrup from Colorado.
Yeah. But I feel like, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword. And I think it's just kind of like, because of people's frustrations with the Trump administration, I think they then have this anti-American sentiment without realizing that it's not anti-American per se. You're frustrated over these tariffs.
I think the government pitted these citizens against each other, and now this is maybe the backlash they're facing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't our fault.
No. And our government doesn't help, right? Like
that's what both governments. They pitted us against each other.
Yeah, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
And now even more
like just be friends. If you were just friends from the get, we wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah. For the most part, people that I talk to, like, I don't see people having a tremendous problem with Americans or America in general, right? Like, you're just angry about the tariffs. There is nothing else.
There is nothing else. It's just that word.
Yeah.
Which we talk about every podcast.
Yeah. It comes up one way or another. But yeah, let's move on to Alberta. So they get these driver's licenses. They didn't get them, but like they are
implementing.
Yeah. So they're going to show that you're a Canadian citizen.
Yeah.
It's going to say Canada or
No,
CAN.
there's a flag.
Yeah. Or the flag?
There's a flag on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like the maple leaf. I forget.
I thought it was like CAN. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been a little bit of a backlash on that, right? Like from that. Like people are saying that you shouldn't have that. To me, I feel like it's something that I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it helps stop voter fraud.
It does say CAN. I was wrong.
Yeah. I think it helps prevent voter fraud, right?
Yeah.
Because then when you go to the election booth, you have a card and it says that you're a Canadian citizen because you have to be 18 or older and a Canadian citizen to vote, right? I do think, is it necessary? I don't know, right? Because they could have just gave a citizenship card or something if somebody wanted to. And I think the counter argument are two things. One, people are saying it stigmatizes against the, immigrants.
For sure.
Right? Where like, an ID is presented. Like, let's say if you're getting an Airbnb, right? And you have to give your ID. And if it doesn't say Canadian on it, somebody can be...
discriminate against that. I would even take it further, so I agree with what you're saying, but I agree that it's not necessary because a driver's license you can get without being a Canadian citizen. So an immigrant, for example, that's come here, has a PR card or whatever. I don't know what you need to get a driver's license, but I know you don't need to be a citizen.
Right.
Say he's applying for a job. I think he will he will face some sort of discrimination. I think he will. I know we always talk about like immigrants, like maybe not in the greatest light, but I can imagine they are going to face some sort of the backlash. Did you read about all the reasons why people don't want?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Right. But to me, it's like, okay, if you are saying that, right? Like the Airbnb example that I gave, for example, right? Like wouldn't somebody look at the picture and somebody who's going to discriminate based on if somebody's a Canadian citizen, they would discriminate regardless, right? Even if you're getting hired somewhere, you think somebody can't tell off of accents and pictures. Like, it's stupid to be like, well, that's the biggest problem. If it doesn't say CAN, they're going to be really annoyed. No, man. Like, I don't see it, right? Like, I just see it as like an argument.
Yeah.
Right? To me, the biggest plus of it is that it helps prevent voter fraud, I guess.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's the reason they're doing it.
And which is a big thing, right? Because you want to identify citizens when they're voting, right? Non-citizens shouldn't be voting.
Not only voting, like getting stuff done at banks or any sort of fraud.
Yeah, it makes things harder, right? But again, like, I don't know if it was necessary, but I don't see it as to me, it's not one of these things where like people like it's so unfair and it shouldn't be happening. Yeah.
So what I was reading is so the discrimination in profiling, the absence of the marker could become a way for people to be targeted, which employment, housing, police stops.
Right.
I believe it.
Okay. So then flip that, right? So another way to look at that is then because that you think that people coming from another country might be treated unfairly, right? What you're going to do is treat your citizens equal to the people coming over as another country. How's that feel?
Accents, these people, it's very easy to see that somebody who wasn't born here to somebody that was.
Yeah.
So that's going to exist.
It's kind of a moot point to me, right? Like
that's why I think it's not necessary. Why are they doing it? I don't think it's necessary.
I think the voter fraud stuff, but like even if
crazy is voter fraud,
it happens. There's people that aren't registered Canadian citizens that go and vote.
And do you think it like impacted anything?
Who knows? But like you see the
I don't see like my parents don't even vote. They're Canadian citizens.
No, but like
non-Canadian citizens are voting.
You had a record number of immigrants come to Canada over the last few years, right?
For sure.
So if you are going to pass some sort of legislation that makes it easier to identify who's a Canadian citizen, why wouldn't you want that as a country?
I see that as pointless.
Okay. Where I'm arguing from it is that if it's done, there's also for you to make a big stink about it and be like it, stigmatized. It puts a stigma on immigrants, right? Like, okay, because then the counterpoint is Canadian citizens should be treated better by Canada than an immigrant should. In my opinion, you don't think that there's perks that a Canadian citizen should have versus an immigrant?
Say like I'm just playing devil's advocate. But an immigrant that came here for the right reasons, that wants to work hard, wants to earn income towards this economy, be a part of Canada.
Right.
They're always going to kind of feel like they don't belong.
Right.
Because they're going to not have that CAN on their driver's license.
Right.
Why do you want to make them feel like shit?
Because the one person on the flip side who has either they're born here or they came here and they have been working every single day 9 to 5 longer than that new immigrant, and even if they came here 15 years ago and they weren't born here and they're legal citizens of Canada and they're working their ass off, right, and they pay higher taxes than these immigrants, they do these dead-end jobs, they get fired. Maybe they feel a little good when they see a Canadian flag on their driver's license. It makes them feel happy. I'm like, I'm Canadian. Right, like you could look at it from the other side too.
From all angles.
Yeah, you get like it's to me it's like a BS thing that it's going to, make it so people are going to discriminate against immigrants more. It's like, they do that anyways.
They do that. I don't know that we can understand how it's going to affect us because we were born here.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand it, but I can imagine someone that wants to be Canadian maybe be bothered by it.
Well, it's not even comparable to like this is so small, and to me,
and it's
like,
just Alberta, right?
It's just Alberta. I think every province should have it, right? But like, it's also there's people who look at conspiracy theory, not even conspiracy. There's this fear of digital IDs, right, and going into this digital credit score system and all of that. And like, I think Carney's even alluded to it before. I don't know if in his book or somewhere or something. Might have misread that, but like people are scared of digital IDs, right? Because they don't want the government to be able to track your banking and every single thing that you do, and they just have a system to verify.
Can't they though?
Huh?
Can't they?
Right now, they don't.
Oh,
they don't right now. Will they in the future? Who knows, right? But that's the other side of it, right? But even this, right? Like you see this, so you see a license and it says CAN on it, right? And all of a sudden there's backlash. Oh my God, what's going to happen to immigrants, right? And people are taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the States, Trump drops this $1 million gold card. Did you see that thing? He drops his gold card where you can pay.
Was it different from the $5,000?
The $5 million one?
Oh,
I think that was in theory, but I think this is actual.
Oh, I see.
Right? Like it has like his face on it, kind of looks like an X card or some shit. But to top it off, like when he did that, so the H-1B visa, he's now saying that it requires $100,000 to get an H-1B visa.
Jeez.
Right? So then there's a bunch of people who kind of don't hire Americans, right? Or not all Americans, whether it's Google, Microsoft, a bunch of these big companies. And they sent out letters to like all of their like employees. And they're like, hey, if you're out of the country, it's probably a good time to come back.
Yeah.
If you are planning to leave the country, you might not want to leave. Right. And then I think Howard Lutnick, he was saying, something along the lines, I'm paraphrasing here, but like, if they don't think that they want to pay $100,000 a year for their worker, then maybe they should hire American.
Damn.
Right. So like you see that, right? And like look at what's going on there, and you can have, you know, views on that however you want to have it, right? Yeah. Because the H-1B visa, it's not exactly the easiest to get always, right? So like there is a process.
Thinking like the Silicon Valley, how much of them are immigrants? Probably a lot.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of them then end up like becoming American citizens, right?
Yeah.
But like, look at that. Like, you see, that's like some groundbreaking shit, right? Yeah. Like, imagine over here if to get a student visa, they're like $100,000 fee, like on top of it, just to obtain it.
Here they're denying things now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like crazy.
No, but imagine even the ones that get through.
Yeah.
They're saying even if you get accepted, it's that. Yeah. All Canada did was put CAN on a goddamn driver's license, and people are fighting back like, oh my God, you're hurting immigrants. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
That being said, though, if any government's going to implement anything, they're going to face backlash. Like, you shouldn't be surprised.
100%. Yeah. There's differing opinions.
No matter what, even if it was beneficial.
Yeah, for sure. There's always differing opinions.
Yeah.
There's always differing opinions. But yeah, that's all we got for the main topics. Let's move on to off topic.
Okay, so let's start with the question.
Okay.
Can you guess the top 7 genres or topics, so by popularity, of podcasts? Yeah.
Okay, so current events or news.
That's number 1.
Okay, sports.
Yeah, that's their number 5.
5. Horror, true crime.
Number 2.
Yeah, true crime. Politics.
No, I think no, it's not there. But news.
Yeah, I already said news.
You already said news.
Right. Yeah. Music.
So what about what
finance?
Off topic is
pop culture.
Yeah, so that's 4.
Okay.
Finance is 6.
Okay.
So you're missing 2.
I'm missing 2.
So one of them is, should I just tell you what they are?
No.
One of them is like Andrew Schultz.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy, I should have
That's number 3.
Okay.
And the last one.
The last one. You think I can get this?
No.
Okay, then.
But when I say, you're going to be like,
okay, hold on then. Hold on.
Think of everything you said and what you missed.
Music?
No, that's pop culture.
Okay. What else do people talk about? Travel?
No, but you're somewhat getting closer.
Parenting?
No, should I just tell you?
Parenting, relationship.
Okay, so Rogan has a lot of these.
Interview, like guests?
Yeah, but the types of guests that he has.
Celebrity?
You should get this now.
Medical?
Okay, so that's the right train. It's science education.
Science and education. Okay.
Yeah. So that's
got you.
Top 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with that list. But current events and news at 1?
So it just says news.
Okay. But yeah, that's 1.
But it says insights into current affairs. So yeah, that's 1. That's number 1.
Wow.
Yeah. Canada's
more into current events than they are into
science and education.
Yeah, science nobody gives a crap about, right? What was number 2?
True crime. I believe.
True crime's always been up there.
Loves true crime.
Because I think true crime's the OG podcast.
It is. Right? That's where everyone started.
Yeah, and current events is the new school podcasting.
Yeah.
Right? And then everything else is
culture
niche.
makes sense. Sports makes sense.
Yeah, all that has its own niche. Yeah. Like, fantasy podcasts and whatever.
All right, should we do another top 10? Or
Let's do it.
Okay. So top 10 food. So I know everybody's like on this crazy, like we need more protein tip, right? Like, the older we get, that's just what we need.
Everyone needs protein.
Love protein.
Yeah.
So top 10 foods with the highest protein.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Per 100 grams.
Okay.
That somehow was important to people as per the comment section.
But I don't think that makes any difference to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really a wizard.
You're not going to get these.
I'll try.
You can try.
Chicken?
Not on there.
Steak?
Beef, number 2.
Oh yeah, beef. Turkey?
Nope. Think of things that our religious parents like to eat.
Lentil?
Yeah. Wait. No, sorry. Well, what are mung beans?
I was gonna say beans.
Yeah. Okay. There's
Three different
beans.
Or kidney beans?
No.
Black beans?
Black beans number 9.
Black beans are number 9. And what else is that?
I don't think you know what cannellini beans are.
No. Okay.
Okay, so now we can move on to something that's under the sea.
Oh.
What does all like fitness people love?
Tuna.
Number 7.
Tuna. Okay, and I'm still missing the top 3?
You're missing, so beef was number 2. You're missing 1, 3, 4, and 5.
Some sort of nuts. There's some sort of nuts that are high in protein.
Yeah, that's number 3 and 4. They're like both forms of each other. Yeah, that's number 3, and then
4
is just a form of peanuts.
Yeah,
peanut butter.
Okay, that's weird.
Okay, so number 5 is a meat.
Okay. What didn't I say? Is it like salmon or something?
Meat.
It's a meat. Oh, specifically a meat. It's not chicken. It's not turkey. It's not beef.
Think about like that it was beef. So you could think of it being like a red meat. I'm just giving it away.
Yeah. Like elk, lamb, goat.
Mutton.
Okay.
Lamb.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1.
Number 1. It's not a meat.
It's not a meat. It's not a meat. It's not a bean. It's not fish.
What the?
It's not a nut.
Protein powder.
You're not going to get this.
I feel like I knew this as like a random dumb fact, but I can't remember it now. Dunbar's number, right? Just tell me.
Pumpkin seeds.
Oh, I would not have.
No, I knew you weren't going to.
I don't know if I think that list is correct. I'm gonna have to Google that.
You can Google it.
Yeah, it seems.
It's specifically per 100 grams.
Per 100 grams.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So last question.
Mm-hmm.
Say you're in a relationship with somebody, and it can start off 2 ways.
Okay.
One, you're on the fence about having kids.
Okay.
And your partner absolutely doesn't want to have kids.
Okay.
So that's how it starts. Or it could be that you guys both start off not wanting to have kids.
Okay.
And then throughout the relationship, someone's mind changes.
Right.
Is it worth it to pursue that relationship?
I think those are 2 different things, right? If both of you guys didn't want kids and then somebody changes their mind, I feel like that's an elevating conversation. You're allowed to change your mind. So like that's more complicating to me, right? That just depends on the couple. If outright one person wants to have kids and the other one doesn't, and you're within the age where it's possible to have kids and stuff because of biological clock, that would be a deal breaker. No? Even if you're in love with the person.
If you're specifically in the age, that I think is key. But then okay, so I could imagine going through life. Things change, opinions change, the way you feel about things change, beliefs change, morals change. So it could very easily turn where that person will want to have children. Once they see people around them having children, so why I even brought this up is I watched this TikToker. She does DIY things. So she was just talking about, she's on her 3rd pregnancy. She's like, me and my husband absolutely didn't want to have kids.
Right.
We went through year 1, 2, 3, didn't want to have kids.
Yeah.
We wanted to travel. We didn't want restrictions. We wanted the income. We didn't want to pay for children. Children are expensive, as we're aware, right? And then something just turned into, COVID happened. And they're like, should we? And now there's no turning back. Now they travel with their kids. They find no issues with it. Which for some people can end poorly. But they will have issues with it because they didn't want it to be.
Right.
So that just made me think these people, I guess, were always on the same page. They both changed their minds at the same time. But say you're in 3-4 year relationship and one person changes their mind.
Okay, if you're in a 3-4 year relationship, one person changes their mind and the other person's like, no, absolutely not. You to me, if you're married, then it's a different situation. It's hard. You're going to get divorced, all that. Right. If you're dating,
if you're married, I would say that you're married.
If you're married, then it's a difficult conversation. You know why though? Because you know how important it is for couples to be on the same page, right? Me and you, before we had our daughter, right? We've traveled to places, been to Michelin star restaurants, have done everything from Europe to whatever we wanted to in terms of traveling and having fun and just being in Rome, walking down, cobble streets and pathways and stuff, going into a random place and getting a glass of wine, like that kind of like we've lived that kind of life a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So like to me, we did that and then we had a kid.
Yeah.
Right. So I wasn't like, there's a bunch of people who don't do that. And then they're like, oh man. And then they have the money to travel and stuff and they can't because now they got the kid or whatever. Some people aren't comfortable with it. I've also seen people have kids and they don't really seem like they want them, if that makes sense, right? Because like they're always trying to escape the kid, right? They're always trying to
Pop the kid off.
Yeah, like drop them off here, do that. What's more important to them is guys' night, girls' night, the golfing trip. That's always more important rather than including their kid. Like everyone does a little bit of it. I'm not saying you shouldn't have friends or
you shouldn't go out with your partner. Yeah.
Like go do it a little bit, but if constantly your main worry is always just not the kid, right? And it's always about having fun, eventually can't wait to get rid of the kid. Like we all get there because like,
But just in terms of the question was like continuing the relationship. I think it's difficult and it's risky to stay in it in the hopes that person will change their mind. Because even for us, right? Before we got married, while we were dating, we talked about that we want children. There was never a question. So I could imagine all these people are doing the same thing. It just so happened that for this couple, it worked out. They both changed their mind at the same time.
Also, like if somebody wants kids and one person doesn't, like that means somebody's main goal is to be a father or a mother. Right? Like that's what they want out of life.
Do you want to risk your child having an absent father or mother?
Not just that, like if you're going to stay in that relationship because then you choose not to have the kid, right?
Yeah.
That person is never going to experience having a kid if that's what they wanted in life.
Yeah.
And that when they see other people with kids or something, it's always going to make them sad.
Yeah.
Right. And whether or not they end up having a kid with their next partner because of biological clock or whatever, they're going to continue to feel a little bit down, right? And sad because they're going to feel like this is part of life that they missed out on. Also, a lot of people that talk about kids and saying that, they don't want kids or whatever, have no idea what it's like to have a kid. Yes, it's a lot of work and all that stuff. And, you don't get to spend so much of you time.
Yeah.
But there's something that happens when you have a kid, man. And it's kind of cool. That kid becomes your main concern. It can drive you to work harder. It can, there's not this hypothetical person. It's this actual little face, right? It gives you more perspective. It starts to, for me, it makes me kinder to people. I can see people and see that, maybe they were just babies once too, right? And they're all just kind of, making decisions, right? And like, you try to be a better person, to leave the world in a better place when you leave it, right? For your kids and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And if I didn't have a kid, I wouldn't know what it feels like to have a kid. It doesn't matter how much you explain it to somebody, they're not going to get it. And all of those, the diaper changes and the things that happen in the beginning, those first couple of years, that's just like, that's not really parenting. No, that's just
it's hard.
Yeah, that's like puppy training, right? Like that's just the beginning of it. The parenting continues long after that, right? After those kind of things
for sure
kind of go away. So to me, like for somebody who wants a kid, they want those things that I'm kind of saying. So for them, that feeling is never going to go away. So to be in a relationship, the resentment is going to slowly start to build. Right. And you're going to start to argue over certain things.
Unhappiness will come.
And then imagine if you do have a kid and then there's somebody, whether it's the father or the mother, that's just like, I didn't want these kids. Exactly. Now you got this kid who's being blamed for everything. Right. So I don't think you shouldn't be in a relationship. If couples aren't on the same page when it comes to money, when it comes to kids, when it comes to how you want to raise your kids, your religion, morals, values, if you guys aren't on the same page in terms of like, that kind of stuff, life is going to get very hard, right? And relationships and marriages are hard already, right? Like you're going to have conversations. Everyone has good days and bad days. But like if you're going to be battling each other on like the integral part of a relationship, it's going to get very hard for you. There's no point in being in that relationship, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right.
That was long-winded. I kind of just ranted there a little bit.
No, it's there's a lot of levels to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all we got.
Okay. And with that, hopefully we did a okay job at this week's podcast. Hopefully Indy and Simmer will be back in studio next week, and we'll catch you guys next week. Take care, everybody.